Tires have been a big part of our four-wheel drive lifestyle. In a Four-Wheel Drive Mechanics magazine, we test a lot of tires. We also drive 40 miles to get to a tire store, and this is no longer convenient. We've decided to bring tire changing into our shop. Dismounting, mounting, and balancing tires is now an in-house process thanks to the special tool solutions from Gaither Tool Company. In this instructional how-to, I will demonstrate how to dismount, mount, and balance your own tires. This can be done in your shop, with the exception of balancing. It can even be done alongside a trail, at a roadside rest, or in your campsite. Hand dismounting and hand mounting can save a great deal of time in shuffling back and forth to shops and increase your self-sufficiency and self-reliance.
Our project began with a Gaither 12772 manual tire changer. For self-sufficient remote use, the tire changer underwent modifications at our shop. The changer is normally lagged to the shop floor, with permanent anchors provided in the kit. Rather than anchoring the changer to the floor, a rigid 2x2-inch 0.250-inch wall square tube became the support brace for mounting the changer directly to a 2-inch square Class 3 receiver hitch. A small section of tubing and two plates attach the long tube to the Gaither 12772 changer post. Welded sections and a two-plate interface allow for quick disassembly for stowage. The changer, accessories, surface parts, and beam attachment can be stowed in an off-road trailer for remote travel. This modification makes replacing and repairing tires in the field possible. Tools for fabrication included our horizontal bandsaw, the 170 Hobart Beta MIG machine, 5/8" and 3/8" drill bits, and a 1/2" drill motor. A disc grinder was used for prep and finish work. Before dismounting tires, we use Super Slickum tire lubricant around the bead. Allow this to soak in before deflating the tire. When deflating the tire, use the Click and Go valve stem remover. Gaither's Click and Go valve stem core removal tool prevents the core from flying across the shop as air escapes. Gaither's unique pneumatic Bead Breaker is a quick way to break down commercial, truck, heavy, agricultural, and off-highway equipment tires. The tool will serve best on steel rims that have a rolled-up flange edge. If your 4x4 has an onboard air system with the right volume and pressure, this tool could be used at the side of a trail for quickly breaking down the bead or doing repairs. On alloy wheels, use a rubber pad to keep from marring rims. Gaither Slickum and Super Slickum tire service lubricants are a must. Never attempt to break a bead without these soft tools. For tough bead breaking jobs, soak the rim edge with Super Slickum while the tire is still inflated. Allow the lube to seep between the rim and the tire bead edge. After several minutes, you can attempt to break down the bead. If there is substantial resistance, lube again with Super Slickum and wait for the lube to penetrate. Regular Slickum is like the lubricant often used at tire shops. Slickum is for general tire dismounting and mounting. Water soluble, the diluted concentrate can be put in a bead brush bottle. Apply water soluble Slickum lube consistently throughout the normal disassembly and assembly of tires. Soluble slickum will evaporate, so keep rubber constantly wet when applying force to the bead. Tires are expensive. The quickest way to ruin a tire is gouging or tearing the bead while mounting and dismounting the tire. This is an older set of alloy wheels, used for our tire testing and trail runs. The wheels have a faded, brush-scratched Teflon coating in need of an acrylic epoxy paint job. If your wheels are in good cosmetic condition and you want to keep them that way, use a rubber pad between the inner jaw of the pneumatic bead breaker and the rim. Otherwise, you will mar the wheel.
Make sure it's underneath the rim lip.
This tool is ideal for steel wheels that have a rolled-up edge at the flanges. Commercial truck, off-highway, and agricultural equipment tires will break down beads in minutes. For our trailer and other utility steel wheels, this unique bead breaker is an optimal tool.
To save extra work, we broke the bead on the backside first.
Alloy wheels require more finesse to protect their surfaces and the rim flange edge. Alloy flanges are often flat, especially the outside flange. It is more difficult for the tool's guide or beak to dive under the lip of a narrow, flat flange. Care must be taken. As seen here, the job can be done. This Gaither pneumatic bead breaker will break a bead on a large tractor wheel in minutes. Aftermarket alloy wheels, like the American Racing Baja wheels shown here, which are common 8-inch by 16-inch Jeep application rims, have a thicker casting wall than commercial steel wheels. Unlike steel wheels, these alloy wheels have a flat front flange, with a thin lip and no upward roll for the pneumatic bead breaker's tongue to readily squeeze against and slide under. Additionally, these tires are load range E, historically 10-ply rated, with stout beads and sidewalls. A commercial tire changer's ram power side-mounted bead breaker typically exerts 5,500 to 6,200 pounds, 2,500 to 2,800 kilograms of force. This portable Gaither tool does a heroic job on shop air. Be certain to remove all slickum from the tire and rim before mounting the new tire.
The backside remained broken.
In rough terrain, with or without bead locks on the rims, a tire will spin on the rim if there is super slickum on the beads.
We're ready to dismount the tire. We'll dismount the tire from the top side because the drop center of the rim is on this side. Want to push the tire into the drop center opposite where our tire spoon will be pulling.
Visualize this tire changer attached to a vehicle at your remote campsite. This changer and tire hand tools will enable tire service anywhere. Fabrication of the receiver extension arm took a few hours. Materials were minimal. The 2x2-inch square tubing with stout 0.25-inch wall thickness, 2 pieces of plate, cut with a horizontal bandsaw to match, side plates for the receiver end, 5/8-inch diameter coarse thread grade 5 bolts, nuts and washers, and an inexpensive 8-inch drop receiver hitch rated for Class 3 and 5,000 pounds. Note that the vehicle has been leveled so that the platform of the post is flat on the floor. The drop receiver hitch affords several positions for leveling the stand. Optimally, the stand should be vertical with the footprint flat on the floor. The beam is rigid and keeps the stand from moving. The Gaither 12772 manual tire changer comes with a complement of accessories, including a stout and well-constructed motorcycle wheel rim style clamp. Our 4x4 load-range tires and wheels weigh 84 to 102 pounds apiece. Wrestling with these assemblies in a manual tire changer is certainly not for everyone. The plastic protector cover on the foot lasted for less than 2 weighty attempts with the lever and extension handle. The plastic cover would likely work for motorcycle, UTV, ATV, light passenger car, or even our 15-inch trailer tires. You need muscle and Gaither's Super Slickum to break a 10-ply equivalent tire's beads with this manual changer or any other manual tire changer that uses a lever mechanism and bar like the Gaither 12772. We pushed this machine to its limit with these tires. We operated the lever and foot successfully without the cover, using care not to damage the sidewall, bead, or inner rim. Using Super Slickum, these beads broke loose. This Gaither 12772 machine can perform this work at your shop or in the field. The manual tire changer is a functional, well-built machine for a passenger car shop, ATV, UTV, or do-it-yourself user, or ideally, a motorcycle shop. With some muscle applied, we proved the machine's capacity to dismount large 4x4 tires at a remote site. We worked our way through breaking down beads on the remaining tires in the set. The best technique for this machine is to place one side of the tire on the rubber floor pads close to the post. Place a foot on the opposite side of the tire. This stabilizes the tire and allows the force at the lever foot to apply fully. Without that stabilizing force, the energy of the lever and foot gets lost. The outer edge of the tire wants to lift off the floor. Now we advance to dismounting and mounting tires. The sturdy changer stand and post readily handle these weighty wheels and tires. The fabricated 2" by 2" square, 0.250" wall thickness rectangular arm to the receiver is rigid. The receiver hitch has an anti-rattle bolt to keep the hitch stable. This long arm leverage and welded attachments work very well. The tire changer slides slightly on the floor, but always provides consistent, firm resistance force. Our receiver mount will work in the driveway, a shop bay, or alongside a remote trail or 2-track. The cone used here is from our Gaither GT12 1US manual tire balancer. The 12772 tire changing machine comes with its own set of cones. We found it convenient to shift a single cone between the two machines. The 12772 changer's center hold-down post has a simple modification to work with this tapered cone. 2 set-screw lock collars from MSC, part number 35463793, 1.5" ID and 2¼ OD, 3/4" wide black oxide shaft collars are fitted together. The tire dismounting and mounting bar that comes with the Gaither 12772 has replacement tips. That bar works fine for dismounting and mounting light passenger car, UTV, ATV, and motorcycle tires. However, the tip's plug stud could not muster the resistance of these load range E beads and sidewalls. The tip stud bent. A contributing factor is a shallow drop center or well in these American racing wheels that causes a tire bead to be more resistant during dismounting and mounting. For this project, we substituted a solid steel dismount mount bar from another manual changer at our shop. This steel one-piece red bar, seen here, works well. Keep the rim edge and bead lubricated. Use extreme caution to prevent tearing or overstretching the bead with the dismount bar. Super Slickum works best at the stress points, easing tension on the bead as the bar pulls around the tire. Always keep the opposing bead in the well or drop center when lifting the bead over the rim. This reduces tension and provides the most clearance for raising the bead over the rim. The fabricated support beam to the receiver hitch is long enough to allow easy movement around the tire and wheel, even when working with the dismount mount bar. The length of the beam resists flexing and shifting of the changer. This 2" by 2" by 1/4" wall rectangular tube provides considerable torsional force to keep the changer stable. Desirable for use in the field as a remote tire changer on unpaved ground, the Gaither 12772 tire changer can also be anchored solidly to the floor of a shop for a stable, more permanent platform. We saw the potential for a portable unit that can break down and be stowed in a military or trail utility trailer. The Gaither 12772 manual tire changer will serve that purpose. Modern high-power commercial tire changers make easy work of dismounting and mounting tires. Hand tire changing must take advantage of the drop center, the well, to lower bead resistance. Always bring the opposite bead into the drop center before attempting to lift the bead over the rim edge. Using a commercial tire changer also demands bringing the opposite bead into the drop center before attempting to lift the bead over the rim edge. Hand tire changing must take advantage of the drop center to lower bead resistance. Modern high-power commercial tire changers make easy work of dismounting and mounting tires. Super Slickum has been thoroughly removed from the rim before mounting the new tire. Do not leave Super Slickum on the rim, or there will be a risk of the new tire slipping on the rim under high torque loads like four-wheeling on a hardcore trail. For mounting the new tire, regular Slickum will be the lubricant. Slickum is water-soluble and comes in a concentrated form. This product works well and goes a long way when used properly and in accord with Gaither's instructions. When we committed to hand-mounting tires, we meant it. Gaither's bead locks act like a second pair of hands and make this task much easier. Here, the bead locks not only prevent the bead from slipping off the rim, the locks double as clamps to keep the tire in place. We tried the red tire mounting bar with no success on these thick beads, and have now turned to traditional hand tire spoons or irons to get the job done. A century ago, all tires were mounted in this manner. 2 professional caliber European-style spoons work best here. Be certain to keep the opposite tire bead in the drop center at all times. Use care not to roll the iron too far over the rim edge. Avoid rubbing the iron's tip against the alloy bead seat. The area where the tire seats must be free of blemishes or any nicks. Damage at the rim's bead seats will create a leak or tear the tire bead. The bead seat is both the inner side of the rim flange and the outer flats of the rim, just beyond the hump on the rim. Look at the tire bead to better understand how the tire's bead seats. Any nick or blemishes on the rim bead seats should be smoothed with Scotch-Brite or a fine wet and dry paper like ProGrade 3M Super Flexible Blue. The unique design of these bead locks includes a durable coating and edges that resemble a mounting head's shape on a commercial tire changer. These edges help guide the tire bead smoothly onto the rim. Gaither bead locks pay for themselves in a hurry. Watch the bead as you stretch and move it. Do not overstress the bead. Protecting the bead preserves the tire's integrity. Avoid damaging the bead edge. Tires will accept a reasonable amount of pressure if well lubed. Keep applying lubricant to the bead, especially at the stress points, as you work the bead onto the rim. Back off when tension gets high and the bead is not yielding. An advantage of using hand irons is that force can be felt in your hands. The speed of each step can be controlled. If all this is new and unfamiliar, practice on old tires with no value. Before we finish mounting this side of the tire, it will be clear that the valve stem should be in the 6 to 7 o'clock position to take full advantage of the Gaither bead locks. The valve stem is currently at 12:30, which will not allow the 10 o'clock bead lock to move clockwise beyond the stem. Begin mounting the tire bead with the valve stem at the start point, approximately 7 to 8 o'clock in this view. Here is an excellent illustration of a 10-ply load range E tire being installed on an aftermarket alloy wheel. The opposite bead is in the well or drop center as far around the rim as possible. Bead locks are holding the tire bead into the well. The final bead above the rim is reasonably short. If this were a light-duty tire, the final bead section would readily push into place by hand. This heavy-duty sidewall and stout bead require use of a tire iron to the very end. These heavier-duty European-style tire irons are too thick at their ends to fit beneath the remaining beads section. This is time for the light-duty tire irons. Finessing the irons beneath the rim edge, gently apply pressure and walk the bead into place. These light irons did not leave a mark on the rim's bead seat. This is hand mounting without the advantage of a commercial powered tire changer's plastic protectors or a leather rim protector. Though time-consuming, the end result is a tire and rim unblemished in any way. This equipment could be used on an overlanding adventure or a four-wheel drive club run over the Rubicon Trail. Tossing an 88-pound wheel and tire assembly onto the manual tire changer will keep you fit. Avoid this work if the weight is excessive or there are physical limitations. Powered tire changers are always an option. It's 92 degrees Fahrenheit ambient temperature as the second tire gets thrown onto the Gaither 12772 manual tire changer. Before balancing, we will mount all 5 Cooper Discoverer ST Max LT 255/85R16 load range E tires by this manual method. The tires are all hand-mounted and ready for inflation. Seating the beads can be a challenge. Years ago, we used an inflatable band strap to squeeze the center line of the tire while applying air. This required juggling between filling the tire with air while letting the air out of the band. Today, the most advanced method for seating beads is the Gaither Bead Bazooka. This portable, pressurized canister of air can instantly inflate these large tires. The Bead Bazooka comes in several canister and air volume sizes. We chose the 9-liter model for our big 37-inch by 1250-inch 17 tires that we run on our Ram 3500 pickup. The Bead Bazooka is a loud, concussion-level sound that demands the use of earplugs. Goodbye unsafe starter fluid bead seating. This is a safe, fast, and efficient way to seat tires on rims. The Bead Bazooka can be taken anywhere, including to your campsite. One person can readily perform tire bead seating and inflation. We use a Haltech H5265 standard bore lock-on air chuck, which is available at Amazon. To begin, place the chuck on the valve stem. It will lock into place. Get the Bead Bazooka ready and apply air to the chuck. While the chuck pours air into the tire, set the Bead Bazooka nozzle within a few inches of the upper tire bead gap. Make sure you have earplugs on, then squeeze the trigger. The blast will expand both tire beads instantly, beginning a seal. Simultaneously, the air rushing into the tire from the chuck takes full seating and inflation from there. Each of these tires will respond to a single blast from the 9L with canister air to spare. We seated beads and inflated the tires faster than any other method. High-end commercial tire changers have built-in air blast jets. The Bead Bazooka does the same job for both manual and power tire changing. The Gaither Click-and-Go valve core tool has been holding the valve core during this tire changeout. 4 tools per package handle a full set of tires. The Click-and-Go tool quickly inserts the core back into the valve stem. No more lost cores while deflating or inflating tires. Have you ever searched for a valve core in the loose dirt alongside a trail? And that ordeal with the Click-and-Go. The canister inflates easily from an air coupler. The Bead Bazooka is portable and can be stowed for off-road travel. With our modified Gaither 12772 manual tire changer and a Bead Bazooka, changing tires in the Outback is possible. If you overland with a 4x4 and utility supply trailer, a portable tire shop can be part of your tool assortment. Backup tires can be mounted at a remote site or alongside the trail using your vehicle's onboard air supply system. Don't forget the Click-and-Go valve core tools. Make certain that the bead seat fully on both sides of the tire. Without fail, the Gaither Bead Bazooka and a steady airflow into the tire instantly seated each of these tires properly. Clean rims and use of Gaither Slickum during assembly helps the tires seat. Inflate tires to no more than 40 psi when seating automobile and light truck tire beads. Adjusted tire psi depends upon the weight of the vehicle and the tire's load carrying capacity. For a 3,700-pound accessorized Jeep XJ Cherokee, we will run 24 to 26 psi on highway with these Cooper Discoverer ST Max oversized load range E LRE tires. We air down to no less than 18 psi for loose sand or icy off-highway slush. These LT 255/85/16 tires can each support 3,415 pounds. Running 32 psi would have the tires running on a narrow center section of the tire tread. Tire stores are notorious for overinflating oversized tires on lighter weight 4x4s. Always set baseline tire pressure with the tires cold. Our vehicles get parked fully in the shade until cooled to touch. Always adjust for altitude changes. Altitude impacts tire pressures. Tire inflation pressures are only as reliable as the gauge you use. For accurate pressures and the advantage of a nighttime backlit digital readout, the best gauge for our professional level tire testing, both on and off-road, is the Gaither Gtg D50 Tire Inflator. This is a multifunction, automatic tire inflation tool with battery power. As factory tested, our gauge has a plus or minus accuracy of 1.2 psi tolerance up to 58 psi. At 29 psi on the gauge, true pressure is 28.7 psi, which is close enough for us. The gauge is easy to use and handy for inflation and quick deflation checks. The sharp, backlit blue numbers are perfect for trail and campsite airing down and up. The reinforced hose makes this a rugged, long-life device. To ensure accuracy and safety, we recheck the valve core tightness after inflating each tire. We adjust tire pressures at the front and rear of the vehicle based upon the weight distribution. On vehicles like our Ram 3500 pickup, the factory door sticker shows the ratios of front to rear tire pressure, which also reflect the vehicle's weight distribution and the load at the vehicle's bed or receiver hitch. Unloaded, the Ram Cummins engine throws the weight bias to the front of the vehicle. The pickup's tire pressures get adjusted accordingly, based on actual weight at each axle. We strive for uniform wear across the entire tire tread. This requires proper wheel trueness, straight running tires, correct front and rear wheel alignment, four-wheel alignment, which we perform ourselves, and precisely regulated tire air pressure. Once aired properly, these tire wheel assemblies are ready for our in-house balancing before installation on the Jeep. As avid dirt and dual sport motorcyclists, we saw the additional value of a Gaither 12772 manual changer. Our modified portable tire changer is ideal for motocross, trials, or desert hare and hound race pits, for a recreational riding campsite, or any other motorcycle venue. The changer's rim clamp rack makes a stout tire mounting platform, our pick for the best fixture design in the market. The plastic protected foot on the tire bead breaker is the correct width for any motorcycle tire and wheel. Breaker leverage is ample. The Dismount Mounting Bar features replaceable plastic-coated tips and edge guards to protect wheel rims and tires. Motorcycle racers, enthusiasts, and shops will find the Gaither 12772 changer perfect for quick, professional-level tire changing. The addition of our fabricated mount to a receiver hitch takes the Gaither 12772 manual tire changer to wherever you race or ride. The Gaither 12772 manual tire changer and our fabricated beam adapter for a receiver hitch will break down and stow in an SUV or your pickup bed alongside the dirt motorcycle, ATV, or your UTV on a trailer. This can be your portable tire shop in the desert, racing pit, or at the campground. You can set up the shop in 20 minutes, find a level spot to make sure the tire stand base rests flat on the ground, and make sure the post is vertical. The 2 universal tire irons shown are common and available at any tool outlet. All components in the fabrication of the hitch adapter and beam can be found online or at a local steel supply. Enjoy riding and the ability to repair and change tires quickly in the field.